La 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 la. ColeyUFO, beat me up. Maya start fire, light it up. SNX on the airwaves now. Truth in the static, clear somehow. I've been a seeker since day one, with a pocket full of doubt and a red sun. Coley, WEBER, voice so clear. Maya start fire, bring that near. Unite the ones who feel too deep. Wake that fire, raise it up from sleep. ColeyUFO, beat me up. Beat me up. Maya start fire, light it up. Light it up. SNX, we rise as one. Truth dream, here we come. ColeyUFO, Maya start fire, light it up. Coley WEBER, aka ColeyUFO. Hot supreme when the questions flow. Experiencer with a steady hand, pointing souls to the promised land. Maya star fire, healer in flame. Master energy, calling your name. Impact glow in the midnight air. Take that journey if you dare. Coley WEBER, vision clear. SNX uniting year by year. Maya star fire, spark and guide. Open the door and step inside. UFO, beam me up. Beam me up. Maya star fire, light it up. Light it up. SNX, we rise as one. Truth dream, here we come. Maya star fire, light it up. Beyond disclosure, we keep it real. Heart to heart, that's the deal. Seekers gather, names in flight. One true path in the neon night. One true path in the neon night. ColeyUFO, beam me up. Beam me up. Maya star fire, light it up. Light it up. SNX, we rise as one. Truth dream, here we come. ColeyUFO, Maya star fire, light it up.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of SNX Radio. I'm Coley, also known as ColeyUFO, and it's great to see everybody here tonight. It just popped up with the chat, so I wanted to start off and first thank T-Bone. Thank you so much for the super chat and kicking it off. And yeah, Aggie's great. If you guys do not know Aggie, you definitely will tonight, and he's amazing. I want to go through really quick. Pops, if you guys don't know, Pops, he's got the cryptid, Gary Spike's cryptid panel. Let me get this straight. Second and fourth Monday, we added a day. It's been so great and so popular that we added a day on there. So yes, and he's also doing the disclosure desk with me. And we have Dano, I believe, tomorrow. So that will be a lot of fun. So I just want to say, GC, great to see you. Moon at noon, always a pleasure. Laura, it's always a pleasure to see you. We have Misanthropic. If I pronounce that wrong, I'm so sorry. Amy Girl, it's always a pleasure. Lori Ladd, she's part of the cryptid panel. If you guys do not know Lori, Flamethrower Lori, she's absolutely wonderful. We have Bigfoot Dwarf is in the house. BFD, if you have not subscribed to his channel, definitely go over and do so. He's got some amazing stuff over there. Cindy, Bigfoot fans, she is also a part of the panel. It is a great panel. I encourage you, if you haven't seen it, definitely go back and check them out. They're a great crew. Skitter, welcome. Larry, it's great to see you. We got Martha. Welcome. Oh, Martha, it's nice to see you. You're Cindy's friend. So yes, I heard a little bit about that. So we'll definitely be in touch. T-Bone, always a pleasure. T-Bone, I've known T-Bone back from the Spaced Out Radio days after hours. Those were some fun times, definitely fun times. Andrew, he just did a disclosure desk. If you do not know Andrew Gnome Trucking, definitely go and check out his episode that he did. It was a lot of fun. we had, I just keep thinking of the lot lizards. I don't know. But it was definitely a fun show. And I know I saw more people in here. I think we got 2 Larry. I think we got Larry 1. And there's like 3 or 4 Larrys. So it's always great to see everybody. Steamboat, good to see you. And we got Valspard, I think, if I pronounce that right. Kurt W75 is in the house. Great to see you. And Vale, always a pleasure. So nice that you're here. And let me see. I hate going through it and then missing anybody. Too, like I said, tomorrow we're gonna do the disclosure desk, and we have Dano, I think, coming on. And so that will be a lot of fun. I just want to make sure that I did not miss anybody. So anybody who's tuning in, welcome. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Rumble. So it's always fun. Today, we have Aggie. If you do not know who he is, I'll give you just a little bit about him. If you've not heard, he definitely go over to Broadcast Team Alpha. He's got that show that he does. It's absolutely wonderful. He is an aviator, author of Spiritual Science, and explorer of the universal consciousness, time travel, and ET realities. So definitely join us for a mind-expanding journey into the Unlock the Universe disclosure through consciousness, UFO researcher, and cosmic explorer. He's done about everything. He's very well to do. So we definitely share the aviation part and his passion for disclosure. He's really he's always, how do I put it? I said, you're ahead of your time. You're definitely ahead of your time. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Aggie on, and he can tell you exactly who he is, what he does, and why he does it. Welcome back to the show, Aggie.
Hello. 3 hellos is better than 1, so hello.
3 hellos is always better than 1. You always bring such energy when you come. I really appreciate that about you. And I was trying to find the right words for cutting edge, leading edge, but you really are ahead of your time. And a lot of this stuff you've been exploring and kind of laying out the groundwork for many of us. So that's very much appreciated.
I really enjoyed watching those visual images that you showed earlier. Did you create that?
Yes. Oh, you like those?
Oh, that looks fantastic.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I know you kind of generate your own stuff now, but it's not as easy as what people think it is to really get in there. So I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Well, that kind of stuff is about a quarter of a mile above my pay grade, so I am really impressed.
Oh, yeah, you got a great. When do you do your show over there on Broadcast Team Alpha?
Yeah.
What days do you do that on?
Oh, we do 2 shows. The regular Broadcast Team Alpha show is on Thursday night at 8 o'clock East Coast time and 5 o'clock California time or Pacific. And also I do another one where I do a lot of solo videos as well as interviews on Sunday night at 5 o'clock. And it gets really deep and out on the fringes of everything. So just come and visit. I'd love to see you.
Yeah, no, you have a great show. You got great energy. You always have amazing topics. And what else can you say? It's definitely, I encourage everybody to go over there. If you have not subscribed, definitely do so. And it's you, because usually you're with Nori. So, but I tell you, Aggie's you definitely have what it takes. That's all I'm going to say. You have what it takes.
Yeah, it's been just me lately because her working schedule is just really messing up her schedule to be able to do anything on the shows. But she'll be back.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Life happens, and you just got to take it as it comes. There's nothing else you can do when it's not. But yeah, a really quick thank you to Moon at Noon. Thank you so much for the super chat, and T-Bone, thank you again. Very much appreciated. So we were talking back on, we wanted to kind of get into this and some topics to discuss, especially with disclosure on the forefront of everything. We decided we were going to kind of go into a little bit of the Project Bluebeam. For those of you who don't know, Project Bluebeam, it's a technology that the United States has had for a number of years. And when they come out in disclosure, I do believe that that's probably how they're going to try and whip it back into their control mechanism. But what's your take on that, Aggie?
Well, I know everybody is running around asking for they want disclosure. But disclosure was done years ago by heads of state and government officials. And I actually made myself a note here that I would think I want to read to you, because there was this guy at NASA, Joseph F. Blumreich. He was a leading engineer at Marshall's Space Flight Center in Houston, Alabama. He studied the pictures from the moon, or our moon, and also he studied it for 18 months when he got a hold of all those pictures, and also pictures from the Russian space agency had. And after 18 months, he came out and made a statement, and he said, and I quote, "The moon and Earth are and have been visited on a regular basis by extraterrestrial beings." So that was one of the leading engineers at NASA.
Wow.
That's about pretty good disclosure, isn't it? For starters.
I'm with you. I think disclosures happen. I don't know why we have to wait for the government, because I think that at that point it will become less credible. But that is my opinion. I don't know what is going to happen, but I don't see it playing out in our favor. I really don't.
Yeah. Don't make that mistake and mention the word government and credibility in the same sentence. It just doesn't mix.
No, that's what I said. I said, when they come out and do that, I think we'll become less credible, not more credible. That's the way it feels with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, they're feeding us just scraps right now. And but the Russians, they know, because they were told on TV by the president. Because this was back from when Medvedev was the president of Russia, I think about 10 years, several years ago. And he was doing an interview in Moscow. And after the interview, he stepped down from the podium. And the interviewer asked him, "What can you tell us about UFOs and the extraterrestrial presence?" And he answered, and he says, "Oh, yeah." He says, "When we take office," he says, "we get this dossier, which is just a file. And in there, it explains what the UFOs are, where they come from, and about the extraterrestrials here, and that we are talking to them."
Oh yeah.
And the lady that interviewed him, when she got back to the cutting room, we're going to put together a news clip on that. They thought it was so good, they ran it live on Russian TV. So the Russians, they have had disclosure.
Yes, and Stephen Bassett went over. He talked to President Putin. People don't realize that about that. He had gone over in some. So it's very much, even if you go into other countries like Ireland, and they're not waiting for disclosure. It's happened. It seems like it's really fixated on the United States, and it's just like, I don't believe that to be true.
Yeah. Another thing you can do also, you go to the FBI website. They have all kinds of stuff about UFOs on there, but they don't talk about it. So we keep asking for disclosure. Go to www.vault.fbi.gov/UFO. That is Vault.fbi.gov UFO. They have all kinds of documents about UFOs on there. Another thing that I think you have fun doing, back in I think it was 47 or so, the United States president, they had Eisenhower, he had a meeting with extraterrestrials that came here. In fact, twice. The first meeting, they just talked, and the extraterrestrials explained what they could help us with. Getting rid of disease, getting rid of war, and a lot of technologies that would make our life better. The second time they came back, they actually signed a treaty with them. Google the Greada Treaty. GRIATA Treaty. And read about it. You'll find out that President Eisenhower sold us down the river. But to his credit, he didn't have a choice, because he knew they were going to do what they asked him for anyway. They wanted to abduct our people and do medical experiments and harvest anything from skin samples to body parts, eggs, sperm, the many things they are harvesting from humans against their will. And Eisenhower knew they were going to do it anyway, so he agreed to it so he could get a little more insight in what they're doing. But Google that, Greada Treaty. That'll be an eyeful for you when you start reading about it.
Yeah, that is a lot. There is a lot too. Laura Eisenhower, we'll talk about too. In Val Thor, I find that just absolutely fascinating too. We get into the Val Thor, stuff. That's definitely, there's a lot there. And I just want to thank Pops too for the super chat. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. But yeah, so what did you find, I guess, on the FBI site?
There's a lot of writing, pictures of documents where they talk about UFOs. And it is one of those things that take the time off when you start reading, because you may want to continue and read quite a while. There's a lot of interesting stuff on there. And now there's one more thing that you can prove to yourself, that we are not alone. And that is that there was about, I think it's about probably 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago now, there was a NASA document that was declassified because the time ran out. Go to the YouTube, or you can go to, just Google it. There's a document that explains all the activities, the moving lights, shadows moving across the surface of the moon. There are buildings up there. There are craters with bridges across them. One of them was built in about 2 days on a crater that is almost a mile wide. And this document, when you Google it, it is called Chronological Catalog of Lunar Events. It explains about all the activities up there for the last 300 years, from the time when the first telescope was invented. Haley, you know, you all heard about Halley's Comet. Haley was one of the first that actually wrote something that was inserted into this document. He saw a long cigar moving across, lit up cigar, I call it cigar, pencil, whatever, moving across the surface of the moon. So, yeah, there is stuff up there, and it's not us.
I agree with that 1000%. I just wanted to shout out to Amy. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's greatly appreciated. The moon, I said, I must have this amazing camera that can, my camera can get so close to the moon, it can get craters on there. You know, it's like either this is not what they're saying this is, or it's, what's your take on it, I guess, on what are we really looking at when it's out there? Is it space like they say it is? Is it something that's more placed up there like some people think? I mean, it was rusting at one point. They were reporting in the media, so.
Yeah, that's a good one. Get yourself a good telescope. I have one that magnifies 300 times. And you can count rocks on the moon, you know, big rocks. And the thing is that you can see some of that stuff. Go to, they're a little expensive if you're going to get the good ones. I didn't. I got a cheap one. Go to, there's a Timu. You can buy a telescope that magnifies 300 times for less than $100, about 100.
Oh, you're brave. And it worked?
Oh, it works excellent. So that's one thing that, and other thing too, where you can see a lot of UFOs yourself, get your hands on a 4th generation night vision goggles. They can see higher up into the light spectrum than what our eyes can do. They can see out of our range of vision. And Art Bell did a show on this many years ago because he was at a conference somewhere and somebody came up to him and said, "Do you want to see some UFOs?" And of course, Art said, "Sure, I would." Said there was in the evening, there was dark outside. So they walked outside and he gave these binoculars to Art and he said, "Point it into the sky and look." And Art was floored. He said, with the 4th generation, you could see cigars moving across. You can see triangular ships moving across. There's points of light, round ones, goofy looking ones that is not, not even straight. There's a traffic jam up there outside of our field of vision.
Oh, yeah.
And you can find those. Art actually did a whole show on this one time, and it was very interesting. The 4th generation, they're a little expensive, but anything from probably about $2,000 to $8,000. In there, you can the monocle. Actually, the one that had one, I think is 2 something. I have seen them for sale on auction places for $800 or less.
Oh,
But
wow.
the fun you're gonna have with those, you're gonna blow people's mind if you let them look through it. Another thing, I know this works because I read on there was an armed forces site on the internet. They had these 4th generation night vision goggles. They gave them to the soldiers in I think 2001, where they made the oil war and were trying to collect some money over in Iraq.
Oh, yeah.
I had to say that. And
I know. I was agreeing with you. I was like, oh, yeah, for
they
sure.
gave this goggle to the soldiers, and they got all kinds of complaints because the soldiers came back and said, "This is strange. When I have the goggles on, I see people. I take the goggles off, they're not there anymore."
Wow. It's so like that movie Alive. I mean, we're what can we see? Like less than 3% of the spectrum? I mean, that's not much.
That's right. You wonder what lives in the other 97%, don't you?
I do. I definitely do.
Yeah.
And we can see some of it. I mean, some of us can see, like, obviously piercing that veil, but it's like it's never enough,
No. Yeah. And
so,
those people, there are some people that you can train yourself to see the aura of people. There's a way you can train yourself to do that. And one of the things that you can do, there's this book that show you how to do it. Spiritual Science, Higher Conscious Thinking, and How to Access the Universal Consciousness. I wrote this book for the doers of the world because it teaches you how to use your mind in ways you normally would think would be impossible.
It's a great book. If you guys have not, and while you're at it, can you tell them where they can find it? I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Go and put my name in there or the book's name, and then go ahead and click on that picture, and then it'll read all the subjects in the book. In fact, I have one in the back of the book. There is one section that teaches you time travel. Because I have some very strange experiences, and in fact, if you go to Broadcast Team Alpha, which is Nori and my website, go into the picture gallery. I think it is page 15. In the middle of the page, there is 2 pictures. That is photographic evidence of time travel that I did.
Oh, I forgot. You have the library. Oh, yes. That's amazing. Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there is 117 pages of pictures that should not exist, but they do.
I forgot that you had all that together. And 2, I just posted your links on there. And David H is in the chat. He wanted to say hello to you.
Oh, hey there.
But yeah, definitely get over there and check it out. You've got, I forgot that you had that library. Oh yeah, that you've got some amazing stuff on there. I went through that one day and I was like, wow, the photographs that you had collected is unbelievable. Definitely,
yeah,
bravo to you for that.
117 pages will take you a while, so make sure you have some time.
Yes, yeah, or bookmark it and definitely come back. I mean, there's so much to go through, but so much evidence. And we need more things like that. We need, more resources like that.
Yeah, but while you are on Broadcast Team Alpha on YouTube, go and search for a video documentary that Nori and I did many years ago, I think about 5 years ago. It's called The Moon Pictures. And there you see what's on the moon. 2-mile-long cigar-shaped craft crashed, laying upside down in the crater. Clear, you can see it. It's a ship. You can see buildings up there. You can see people walking up there. You can see several places. There are 2 different pictures of pyramids on the moon. And on the documentary, Nori asked a question. She says, "You don't build pyramids in spacesuits, do you?"
Right. And so when you see the pictures of the people, they're not in spacesuits, are they?
Yeah, because there is air up there and they don't want to tell us that.
Why is that? What's with the deal? Why do they have to lie about everything?
Because that's what they do. Once you start telling a little bit of truth, people ask, well, if this is true, this other subject it's connected to this one, that must be a lie too then. And then it start expanding on. If they keep everything covered with a big lie, they feel safe, because there was the head of the CIA under Ronald Reagan. He said, there was an interview, either that or after the interview, but he is recorded saying, when we wake up one day and find that everything the American people believe is false, we know our disinformation program is working.
That's a part of the, the awakening, the painful awakening process is coming to that point. I said, I have to, I can't even automatically have it in the category of truth. I have to, it's process of elimination before I put it, I'm going to assume everything, and that's where it took me to really get up. And because it's like, oh my gosh, your mind, like it's a mind bender. It hurts, it aches, growing pains are real, and it's just all a part of the process.
Yeah. And then there was one guy, he wasn't even, he was not even a whistleblower. Somebody from the FBI I saw in an interview, he said, yeah, they were talking about flat Earth. And he said, yeah, he says, we started that, he said, and we're having fun with it.
Yeah, I bet they're having a heyday because everything, it all boils down to a duality. It really does. Oh, well, we could have this moon landing, but we have to, it's just like it continuously is something. I feel like, they've got to throw it in the wrench in there. How discernment, definitely discernment.
Yeah.
When you were going into before about seeing auras and I grew up seeing auras. How I know how I shift. Can you kind of go into that? There's a few people in chat that have had near death experiences that are able to see auras.
Yeah, I was able to do that on occasion in the past. I have not even tried for years. I don't know. You got to practice that also, to be good at it. But there, once you start raising your consciousness, these things become available to you. And there are techniques like having sharing a spot on. This is one thing that somebody told me, and I tried it, and it seemed to work for me at least a couple of times. Put a dark spot on the wall, and then move your eyes over a little bit and see the dark spot move over, because it is recorded on the retina. And then we can stare at a person until the outline of the person is really just totally solid. The longer you stare, the more it's going to start expanding a little bit on you and maybe get a little color around it. So if you look fleetingly at someone, you can't more normally see that. And there was, this has got to be 30 years, 20, 30 years ago that I was experimenting with this. And it was fun, but then I quit doing it.
Pop says you have a golden aura around you. When I do it, I look like if I'm looking, I look like past you. It's almost like I'm looking your shoulder. I see you, but I'm focused maybe what's in your background, and that kind of opens it up for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you have a golden
Well,
aura. That's pretty. That's a strong aura to have.
I just put a picture of my aura on my Facebook page. It is big, just stand out like this around me. It was taken with it's a Carillion photo. That was a Russian that created that camera, a Carillion camera that can see higher up into the light spectrum, and they will be able to see auras.
Yeah, they seem to change too around people. Like sometimes, they'll layer in colors. It's what's your take on like what that means? Is it feel like it's kind of
Oh,
like a mood ring at times,
yeah. And it changes with the kind of brainwave patterns you are putting out. If you're thinking of something love, something wonderful, you can maintain a higher color like white, greenish. Green has to do with good health and things like that. But there's also a way that you can lower the vibration and anger, then it can start turning red on you. Red is a really low color that shows either that's either anger or a form of, it can be part of the aura that is red. That could indicate there's a disease or illness there. Also, sexual desire would turn it red. So it affects, the mind affects the aura very much.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And sometimes you see it as shining, and then I didn't know if it was maybe my vision, but you're right. It's probably the thoughts on how people are,
Yeah.
that frequency that they're definitely, I can see that.
I remember back then I was experimenting with it, and I have on my Facebook page, a little down there, probably further, maybe at least a year back, I have two pictures next. One of the one with a white aura and one with a total red aura, because I experimented with it. I induced those really low frequency thoughts, and by golly, the aura turned red. So it can be manipulated.
Definitely. Andrew Rollins, he'd like to know, he said he heard a guest on another show say that these beings are spawned to change dimensions. You seem to be knowledgeable. He said, have you heard of this? And what is your thoughts on the matter?
Three beings, these beings, okay. I imagine that there are some extraterrestrials that come here that do not belong in this vibration, this reality. According to a smoking gun document on the FBI website, they say that we know the extraterrestrials are coming here, but they are mostly interdimensional. So, yeah, they're here.
Yeah, I definitely think there's something here that's, like you said, that's not supposed to be here. That's doing some damage. Right now, it seems to be like everything is, we're at and I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the prophecy or the 9 of the coming year of the 26 and 27 and the frequency changes. But that seems to be what it's all about right now.
Oh, okay. I think it's the 6th or 7th of this month. There's supposed to be a big change. I don't know what the change is going to be, but there's a change. There's a change coming. So maybe watch for something interesting to happen on the 6th or the 7th.
Of this month?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, we don't have much time, do we?
No.
You think it's going to be big enough to shake the planet, or?
According to my source, yeah, it would. But we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, so I think you were the first one to pose the question to me, and I've since then taken it and posed it to many other people. Like, when you go out, if you go outside your house tomorrow and you look up in the sky and there's a bunch of craft outside your house, what are you going to do? How are you going to respond? And I remember taking a step back and thinking about it, and I thought, I'm going back in and I'm picking up my phone and I'm going to call everybody and tell them not to panic, okay? Because if they can't handle it, they just need to go back in and turn their TV on, like you said, pull those blankets up on over your head and let the rest of us handle it. Because that's what I worry about, is what will have the response of other people.
Yeah, I guess we could go there. It's a very sensitive issue. It's called Project Bluebeam. It is a UN-sanctioned government and CIA program. They started talking about, this is one of the things we need to do. They start talking about it way back in the 1950s or 60s. And
weren't they from my understanding, was it during the Middle East, the war, that they were going to use it to have Allah appear and tell the people. I mean, it was that in the 90s, it was at that point. Now, can you imagine where we are now in the year 2026? I mean, the technology is insane.
Yeah, it is. The Project Blue Beam is a fake alien invasion. It's on the table still. And I have a good friend in Tucson here, John D'Souza, the ex-FBI agent.
Oh,
You
yeah, I know
probably,
John.
you probably have interviewed him. But he says Project Blue Beam is still on the table. And the people that he is in contact with at the FBI, they're telling him it is imminent. So the thing is that what they plan on doing is that this is the last card. The AIDS virus didn't work. Plandemic didn't work. And the terror programs the CIA is creating, that didn't work. So the last card is the fake alien invasion in order to force people to come and join under one global government.
Yeah, that's where we're headed.
That's where some are heading, not me, but some are heading that I have designed my future, and that's where I'm going. But the plan is, actually, let me back up a little bit. I think about 2 years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago, the head of NASA, Charles Bolden, he in a talk somewhere, he made the comment that by the end of 2025, there will be an alien invasion. Immediately, the next day after that, the board of NASA put him on permanent medical leave.
Of course they did.
Yeah, with pay. So that since he got the money and he got his pay, they told him, don't ever talk about this again. And that way they control him. So he said there was going to be an alien invasion. So it was still the plan a couple of years ago. But what they're planning is that there was going to be one day when we wake up, walk outside, and there's hundreds and hundreds of ships sitting in the sky. Because they're all, or most of them, will be holographic images. They have satellites that can project these ships into the medium of the air with pollutants in it so that it gets substance and then the ships show up. And the first thing that they're going to just sit there, do nothing. And then they're going to have one of their own flying discs, which we know they have, in between that's going to shoot at things on the ground, blow up buildings, and create fear. And then they're going to have one of the holographic images here in America and probably most of Europe, South America. You're going to see Jesus coming in the sky. And they are going to use a technology called voice-to-skull technology, which was the first patent that I found that explained how to do it, date back to 1978. They beam microwaves to you and they key it in with voice. So they hit your head and you hear the voice in your head. It is patented. It's right there. This is not science fiction. And the Jesus is going to tell them something similar to like, do what the government tell you so they can protect you. And of course, the fanatical Christians and the born-again Christian, they don't know much, so they're going to believe that. And they're going to say, okay, we're going to listen to the government. And then they sign off. They get the mark of the beast, which they probably already have. And then under one world government, they're going to be happy. But there's a sequence for this. First, they're going to destroy religion. And then they're going to be earthquakes. And they have rewritten history to basically write religion and spirituality out of it. And then they've pretty much done that already. And then there's the holographic images and the demonic possession. People are going to think that it's demonic, but it's voice to skull technology that are talking to you. And what you see is a holographic image. They may even have creatures, ugly looking creatures running around on the ground in form of a holographic image to scare people.
Yeah.
Then there'll be telepathic and electronic communication, two-way communication with whoever's talking to you through the microwaves.
I know people that going back in the military, they wouldn't keep anything plugged in because for that reason right there.
Yeah. This technology was used in Iraq during the last war because there are Arabs that say, we heard Allah talking to us, told us to give ourselves up. So they used it. Yeah.
And they you know, it's so hard because this is so spiritual in so many ways. It's not just, you know, explained by modern science or whatever, however you want to put it. And that's exactly the first thing they try and cut out of this is the spirituality part.
That's right. But what they want is they're going to control their life, people's lives, control the economy. They're doing that in China right now. If they catch you standing on a street corner talking with a friend, talking negative about the government, there's microphones and cameras everywhere. They catch all of it and they dock you with points on your social calendar.
Your social credit score. Yeah. You won't even be going to a vending machine at that rate for sure.
That's right. They shut you off from TV. You can't travel anymore. And that is what they want for us here.
And they're making a play on it. So it better say no digital anything. At that point, I mean, the way that it is, I can't even believe nobody will be making everything that you're doing right now is going to catch up with you. It's all being tracked and monitored. So you don't think, you know, cash apps and things like that are going to do the damage they're going to do. Well, just wait. Today is preparing you for the future.
Absolutely right. We got to educate ourselves because when things happen, it's too late to educate yourself because the trap has thrown shut.
Yeah. And if we've learned anything, they do it quick and it's going to be overwhelming. It's just like when they locked us down, it's going to happen and you're not going to have time, but you have time. I shouldn't say you're not going to. You won't feel like you have time, but I encourage everybody to stop, think, don't just react.
Yeah. Now, the thing is that we must never forget who we are. We're not just, when you go into the bathroom and look in the mirror, what you see is not you. That is the perceived holographic image of your spiritual essence. So what you see in the mirror is basically nothing, though it is very convincing. We must remember that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, and a spiritual being actually in form of light has unimaginable creative capability. You can create things out of seemingly nothing. In fact, we do that all the time on our mastermind that we're doing on Nori and I created that thing about 5 years ago, and we're still doing it. We had phenomenal healings. The one lady was on a deathbed in the hospital. They was going to put her on the ventilator and give her remdesivir the next day. They didn't expect her to live. We wrapped our mind around her, and we visualized her walking out of the hospital. And I'm kind of a smart ass sometimes, so at the end of the session, I made the flippant comment that, oh yeah, she'll be home tomorrow. And the day after, in the late afternoon, her husband called me and he said, "My wife is home." And
Wow.
they told her that you recovered so fast, there was no reason for us to keep you anymore. We had a lot of things like that happen. In fact,
I remember when all that was a couple years ago, wasn't that? Or no, it's
yeah,
I remember you talking about it. That's amazing. And that's a
yeah,
power that we have right there. Never forget
that's
who you are.
that's right. And in fact, last Sunday, or this most recent Sunday, there was a good friend of mine here in Tucson. She was in a really bad. She thought she was going to die, and she came to the mastermind, and we wrapped our mastermind around her, and and I didn't talk to her afterwards. Today she called and said, "I don't feel like I want to drive. Would you drive me to the doctor?" And so I went and did, and spent the afternoon with her in the doctor's office and stuff. They checked her vitals. They were basically perfect. There
Wow.
was nothing wrong with the vitals. She still have a couple of a small thing that need to be corrected, but I think that'll be corrected too. But yesterday, she was in a really bad shape. So things happen. That's what we
That's
can
amazing.
do.
So do you do like with the energy, or do you just do the power of intent and throw your
It
intentions out
is
there together?
it's the power of the mastermind. And I think we were about 30 people altogether, and we joined our minds together as one. There's a process for doing that, and that's what we do. And then we direct our concentration to that person, and we see them surrounded by bright white light, and the energy that we send to that person is the healing light of the universal life force. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of healing in that. But that's not the only thing. There's windfall economic thing. One lady, she was about 3 days away from being evicted, and she didn't know what to do. And then I think the second day before, her brother she hasn't talked to him for several years. He called and he said, I got two houses over here. I don't know what to do with the other one. Will you come and take care of it for a while?
Oh wow. So do you have a
Think,
group? Is that what you have? Aggie, do you like a
yeah,
group that okay.
yeah. The mastermind. The definition of a mastermind is plain and simple. When two or more minds are united in harmony, they create a third mind, which has the potential mind power of the two or more of them multiplied by each other.
Hmm.
So if we were 30 people together, that is the mind power of a 900 people. And that is
Wow.
powerful.
So how do you join? What's your tactic? What's your technique for all joining? Do you meditate to the same? Is it like a frequency or?
Yeah, that too. But what we do first, go into a meditation. In that meditation, we set the mind and basically convince our subconscious mind that we can create anything we want because of who we are and what we do. And then we got to work on whatever we work on. Oh, that's just a really fun thing. There were we had never done this before. There were one time that one of the people suggested, let's do something on disclosure. So we went into meditation and we asked the universe for disclosure. And we said, within the next 30 days, there will be disclosure. 2 days afterwards, Obama was on a show when he admitted aliens are real.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if we did that or not, but coincidences keep happening all the time. How many coincidences do you have to have in?
I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with you.
I said if it's coincidental, we just don't know it well enough.
Yeah.
What's your thought? Since you're doing this, I have, and people are like, with AI, everything's, and I was one of those, we're past the point of no return, and then I started really thinking about it, and I was like, what if we did, instead of an invasion, what if we did an inversion? And what I mean by that is that, as we talk about this stuff, when we close it, even if we don't necessarily believe it to be true, we create a different reality. Because I really think that we're fueling the one that we have. I really do. I think it's going to get weirder and it's going to get weirder and it's going to get weirder because we're going there and collectively making it stranger.
Oh yeah. It's gonna get weird.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about how to set up a mastermind for yourself, and you can also come and join us if you like to, send us an email to themastermindconnection@gmail.com, or just get a hold of me and I'll send you some information and a link to come and check it out for yourself.
I
Maybe
want to. That's awesome.
Yeah,
The
maybe
mastermind. What was the last part? The mastermind.
The mastermind connection.
Okay. I'm just writing it. I'm going to type it in and put it out for chat so they have it.
Yeah, that'd be good. And if you want to learn how to do it on your own, you can create a little mastermind by yourself in your family. Let's say there's 4 people in a family. That's a good mastermind. You get together and you decide what you want, and then go into a meditative state. Lower the brainwave pattern into the bottom of the alpha range, and then concentrate on what you want and see yourself having it all ready. Because the universe doesn't work in past and tomorrow. It is only present now.
Here and now.
And if you want to learn how to use this, check it out on Amazon. Spiritual Science, Higher Conscious Thinking, and How to Access the Universal Consciousness.
That's so true too. The law of attraction you do, and that's kind of the hardest part. It's like we're creating, and you're right, the right here, the right now, and it's not instantaneous. Always. It's definitely starting to progress. I think the faster, but you do have to live as though you have it. That's right.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, we think it is difficult, but it isn't. If we think it is difficult, then we may not be able to do it. Good luck with that. We have to know that it is actually happening right now. And we do that by whatever we want, we wear it. It is all around us. See ourselves with it, having it, doing it, being it in the present now. That increases the believability when you say, hey, I'm already driving my Cadillac. Every time you get in on your Toyota.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Every time you get in your Toyota or a Jeep, if you have a Jeep that's 60,000 miles, it's all you're going to get. So you're going to need one anyway. Visualize yourself. Okay, I'm driving my Cadillac. Feel it. the more you feel it, the bigger imprint you have on the universal mind or the quantum existence. And it's there sitting as potential for future creation in the physical. The more you visit, the more you can pull it back. And that is
That's the
quantum
hard part
mechanics.
to do. Yeah. I was thinking about going out to my car. I'm like, now I got to go out and get into that Rolls Royce I've got out there, that Honda, That's great, though.
Yeah.
You're right, though.
And there is some science to this. The quantum mechanics, the theory of inflation. Go read about it. The theory of inflation explains the science behind whatever you think is placed into the field. It is sitting there for you to come and fetch it and bring it home.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Like the money, like if people are trying for that abundance, that money has been printed, that money is already there. You have to live as though it's, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a tricky one too. The universe
Yeah.
doesn't understand money. It is what money can do. If you say, I need $60,000 so I can buy a Cadillac Escalade, the universe say, what's that? But if you visualize the car, now the universe understands.
Mm.
A dollar bill means nothing to the quantum existence.
That makes sense. Now that you say it like that, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
People don't realize telepathic communication is not just words, but it's a lot of imagery. It's a lot of, that makes sense when you said it like that.
Yeah.
So, T-Bone wants to know, what is your thoughts on the missing and gone scientists that's going on? Do you have any idea on what's going on there?
Well, they all of them, I believe all of them anyway, they have been working on very sensitive information and inventions and technologies. So chances are that they got a little too far ahead. So somebody above them in the pay grade say that, nah, don't talk about it. And maybe they did anyway. And then they had to do away with them. One way or the other, they may have taken them. They could have been done away with. Or another thing that happens is there's something called the brain drain. Scientists that disappear very often end up, okay, I'm going to lose a few of you out there, but they end up taken to the laboratories on the moon or on Mars. We have been on Moon and Mars for decades.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And so the brain drain, I guess it all goes back to why we're needed is it time cannot be created nor destroyed? I don't exactly understand the whole point behind the humanity container. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we so important? But yet, is it that they're harvesting that energy? What do you think that's all about? Can you explain it so I understand it? Because I get hung up on this part.
I think it's all about control. Because if one of the technologies get too far ahead, people start understanding that, wait a minute, this will be wonderful. But this over here would be great too. So technology could start getting away from them. They need to control technology so they can still sell oil.
Oh, yes.
In the 1950s, there was a guy in Canada, Charles Poe, P-O G-H, I think. He took an old Nash car, N-A-S-H, huge V8 in it, and he got 104 miles per gallon in the car.
Wow.
because he built a new type of carburetor for it. And that was Breen Motor Company in Canada and Ford Motor Company. They got 104 and 105 miles per gallon on that car because they both tested it. And by the way, did you know that Volkswagens in Europe, they get anything from 60 to 80 miles per gallon?
Oh, really? Isn't that nice? So the water cars exist. I mean, somebody should tell my Volkswagen that. I mean, for real. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It is. Do you think it's like the ethanol, or how are they? They're just different
Oh,
engines, or
no, same engine, just different injection system. Here in America, we have a thing on it that there's a name for it. It's called it's called a disruptor that they put on it that actually clumps the water droplet coming into the burning chamber. And in Europe, they don't have that. You get more vapor, which makes a better burning. But, Americans, we're fat, dumb, and happy over here. We're okay if we get 40 miles per gallon, so that's okay. But we don't read foreign newspapers, do we? We're being had. Like my
yeah.
favorite thing to that is somebody screwed us and they never kissed us.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good analogy for it right there. That is funny.
Yeah.
How much can this go on? I mean, it really, if you want to sit here and, like what is going on here, this has very much been going on our entirety. I just don't think that we realized so much of it was happening. We didn't have, we have Operation Mockingbird that controls our media. We didn't
Yeah.
have, the alternative news sources like we do now. We don't have one another we could exchange. When I was writing papers, I was writing out of my parents' 1979 Encyclopedia Britannica. I mean, how that should say it all right there.
Yeah, I had one of those. I mean, they were about 6 foot wide. The one I had, everything.
Well, it was like,
Good.
we didn't have the unlimited. Now we have so much ways of getting, but now we have another issue is how do we discern which information is good and what's not some counterintelligence or, disinformation campaign.
Yeah, I know.
There's so many
100%.
like paid, but you got to look who follow the money. You got to look and see. I recently really had my eyes open to some of the stuff even going on over on Twitter and who's funding it, and it's just really, it's a big eye-opening experience when you start to see some of this and how it's all mapped out, planned out, and it has been for quite some time.
Yeah. But then again, let's remember who we are. Meditate every day. Take at least 20 minutes. And the saying goes, if you're too busy to meditate for 20 minutes every day, you need to meditate an hour.
Yeah.
Because higher consciousness usually comes through meditation.
You're right. I feel so much better when I meditate, but it's to think there. I'm like, gosh, I got all the stuff to do. Your mind, you got to cut off from that. You definitely do. I probably need a couple hours of meditation.
Yeah, it will grow on you. There'll be longer and longer meditation. I think the longest meditation I've ever done, I think, is about a couple of hours.
Oh, wow.
But that doesn't happen. Not lately, anyway. But I do 20 minutes a day, but then I do something else. Whenever I sit to work on something, I take a 3-minute break, sit back, close the mind down, and I meditate for 3 minutes, and I'm done. I'm back at it again. what that does, it exercises the channel from the conscious mind into the subconscious mind, out through all the way out to the universal mind. And the more practice you get like that, the better you get and the better connection you will get. You can, let's say you sit down, you really need an answer to a problem or a challenge. Sit down, picture the challenge in your mind, understand it, and then tell yourself, I will have the answer to this challenge today. And then go into meditation. Don't think about it anymore, because you have already given the order to the universal mind, the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, all the way out to the universal mind where the answer is. And then it starts flowing back to that, up to the conscious understanding. You may not get the answer right away, may get an hour later, or it could be coming to you in the shower the next morning. In the shower is an excellent place to take 2-minute meditation. I don't know, I think you're grounded because of the water, you're grounded to the earth probably. But that is an excellent, I get a lot of answers in the shower.
It's a protector too. Anytime I submerge it in water. That's interesting that you say that. That's very interesting that you say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was taken to. I was a part of the GATE program, the Gifted Intent. And please, nobody get like when you say that. I feel like people get like it's not an honor to be considered gifted and talented by your government. Let's put it that way. But I was taken to a farm where they had 3 different types of machines that were used on. One of them was metal plates and water that and when you were just saying that, kind of like took me back there. One was a light machine that flashed lights at you, and one was 2 rods that you held onto, and they programmed the type of frequency in there that apparently my blood, it all had to do with my blood type, which is AB negative. I still haven't figured that much from there. But when you said the water and the currency, it just kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to make a connection there, but there definitely has something to do with the ground. You're definitely right, and rooted in grounding. But
what is your blood type?
I'm AB negative.
AB negative. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it just didn't stop there, but I get stuck on these machines. Like for whatever reason, I just wanted to know. I want to know what they were trying to do or what they were. I still haven't gotten the answers to all of that yet, but definitely very distinctive. The one was, and somebody said it is a way of grounding the water and the current. It's like I don't quite understand it either.
Well, it sounds like some of the equipment that I have here, actually. I have
really?
The 2 rods that,
yeah.
But it's a Royal Rife machine,
Yes, exactly. Yeah. They are Rife machines. So you might be, well, maybe that's like happened for a reason. So basically it had a booklet that came with it, and everything, like any type of ailment or anything like that had a frequency, and you put it in there, and then you held on to the 2 metal rods, and then I felt like you were being electrocuted because you were. And then I guess it would clear positive, negative. I know that they used Alkaline used to put stuff, it was on a whole like vitamin regimen. I remember them on the microscope when we go out. They had a barn behind the farmhouse, and they would the Rife microscope you would see, and I remember them showing me like a thing here, this and this was in your blood. The light machine, now that flash, does this make sense, or do you know of a light machine? Because it would flash different colors, and the theory that what they told me as a kid was if you didn't see that light, it was a blockage, so it was repairing that part. and the third one was the metal plates in the water. Grounding. I guess that's where it came from, but
I don't know if they're just flashing light at you very quick like that. Flashing light like that will guide your brainwave frequency. That's why I also have a little piece of equipment here that you put those goggles on, and it helps you lower the brainwave pattern down, because you have the flashes are like, say, about 7 cycles a second, and then the brainwave pattern will come down and match that frequency.
So what do you think, like something like the three of them would be okay? So then after that, we went into MRIs, and it was in the 90s. It was about 95 when they had the metallic dye, I'm going to go, yeah, it's like just during a certain period of time they used it. I happened to be a part of that. What do you think it's all about? What do you think? Do you know much about the GATE program, about what they were doing and the frequency? So much of it is just kind of started. They're just starting to shed light on some of it, but I don't believe what they're giving. Thank you. Yes, Standing Stones, you're right.
Yeah, some of the technologies, or most of the technologies that the government have, is that's above my pay grade too.
Yeah, it's you never know with the government. It really puts a bad taste in your mouth though when you're a part of stuff like that, and it just and it always was a divider. It's always a divider. I think people would hear that like, oh, the gift. Nobody in your right mind, by the government of the United States of America, do you ever want to be on their radar as a gifted and talented? It's not working well in your favor at all.
Yeah we just gotta stay aware, and I hear that there will come a day not long from now when there will be a split in the timeline. In the meantime, we have to design our timeline, because this is I was sitting in the living room of a billionaire in the Midwest one time, and he told me the best way to predict the future is to create it. And that stuck with me, because we can actually create the future before we have to live it. And we create on the basis of what we are doing right now, building something that will last into the future, and also visualizing the outcome. So what we do, we sit down, we decide what we want. If you really want to learn about this, go to the book about spiritual science. I go into detail about how to create your future before you have to live it. And it's been working pretty well. I have created some amazing things. But you know what you want in detail and concept. And then take that bubble you created and place it in the future at, let's say, a New Year's party, where you see yourself standing around with friends toasting the success of what you created. And then go back and forth to that New Year's party all the time. Then you lay down attractor strings to it. Those attractor strings are made of light. They're tiny, tiny, small, thin strings that goes from your consciousness, your body here, to that New Year's party. And now when you go back and forth, you get drawn up that timeline, bringing you to the New Year's party. And in the meantime, you do everything you can to help make it happen. even if there's something that is so far outside of what you thought you could create, people will come out of nowhere and join you. People will knowledge about how to do certain things that will help you to do it. I've seen it happen all the time. This
Yeah,
is
you're
what
right.
this is what billionaires do. I wrote a book. It's right here on the shelf up there. Universal Success Principles and How Billionaires Think. If you're in business, like to be in business, or like to have a better life, you need to read that book. So you create the future before you have to live it, and it's not hard to do. All you need to do is to have a little imagination and also start learning a few things that will create a floor of understanding or a base for something to be built later on. A lot of
Yeah.
time that if you got nothing, you start with education. How do I do something like this? Start studying it. And once you start studying, you learn more and say, okay, yeah, I can do that. And you go this. Now you get one thing done, and then you're going to do that. Now you got several things done. You're on your way.
Wow. So you're saying you save you open that space. You might not have a way there yet, but you live there, and then you construct your path to that
It
place.
it constructs it. Yes,
Okay. Hmm.
it really does.
That makes
Because
sense. That makes sense.
the universe will go to work for you.
Mm, that makes sense in some
See,
way.
that's what we do in the mastermind. We found the language that the universe is able to understand. If we use that language, it's not English, it's not German, not even Norwegian, I'm sorry to say, and not Chinese, luckily. Nobody can
Yeah.
read. It is not one of words at all. It is a language of visualized images, emotion, intention, love, gratitude for already having it now. Those things are the language of the universe, and they understand it, and they will get in the game with you, help you create what you are visualizing.
Wow.
I could really go into this in the book over there. I explain that very well. And in fact, for people that buy the book, you'll have access to me perfectly. I am totally available if you have questions going through it.
I am in like right. You need that. That is profound, and I think it's so important because a lot of people, the law of attraction. I never. It took me a while to really grasp the understanding of living with it
Yeah.
as though you have it today, and being in that and creating that moment because it's hard. It is hard. And I remember I was talking to I think it was one of our guests, Phil Graham, and he wrote or he was a co-producer of Playing God. He called out the democide in the UK for like 50 years. I mean, like, oh gosh, Phil, I don't know how you made it through that. But he talks a lot about that, about waiting
Yeah.
and keeping that cool, not letting your emotions become dysregulated and really keeping the cool. Like, that was
Yeah.
very important also.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
with that energy too. What are some of your techniques to keep that energy from, I guess, escaping? Or I don't know, I short circuit sometimes. The electrical, I have to go and reset the circuit breaker if I get too worked up over stuff. But I've learned that locking it in is a good technique to use to keep that energy. What are some of your ways that you do, I guess, with
Well,
energy regulation?
there's another saying out there that says you are what you eat. I think it is probably close to 20 years since I've ever been to a fast food joint.
Are you for real? You don't. That's why you.
Yeah.
That's why you look so young.
Well, that's another subject. Man, oh man, is that another subject? Because there is a way to reverse the aging process. And in the book, I explain on how to do that. It's really, I don't know how much time we have here, but we could touch on it because in 2009, 3 doctors got the Nobel Prize for discovering an enzyme that reverses the aging process, and nobody told us.
Imagine
I am using that enzyme. I'm taking some things that will help the body create that enzyme. And according to my mom, I'm supposed to be 80 years old. And of course, she lied to me a lot, you know. So she told me about Santa Claus, and that was a lie. The Easter Bunny was a lie, and yeah.
yeah, I know. I know. When people say, "How could we pull off a mass?" Like where you get everybody to go along with it. I said, "See, why don't you send a 5-year-old around your neighborhood during Christmas time and go ask the neighbors if Santa's real, and you'll see exactly how this works."
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes.
But that's a rumor on the street anyway. So, but I tell you though, there is some things you can do to reverse the aging process, and these doctors, don't take my word for it. Go to the Nobel Committee's website. Go to 2009. Scroll down again to medical submissions and read the papers. You're gonna like it. One place in that compilation of medical research, one of the doctors, it may, I think it was Blackburn that said, and I think I can quote it. She said, if everybody had enough of this enzyme in the body, there will be no reason for anyone to ever die from old age. Now, I know enough about the Nobel Committee. If they find anything in the document that is not accurate, even just a small comment that is not accurate, they throw out the whole thing. Of course, unless your name is Obama.
Right. That's true. A lot of truth right there.
Yeah. So this is real. It's working, and I'm doing it. And I think that, of course, I'm doing other things too. So, I've never really been sick in my life except for some well-deserved hangovers in my misspent youth. They,
Oh boy,
they were,
those brutal
I
days.
was, but it is real and it's working. And I talk about it in the book quite a bit. I explain what I do. If there's a little bit of time, I can give people a little bit of an idea. There's 2 things that I recommend. 3 things now, actually. One of them is that I don't really recommend because there's questions about it. There is a product, a pharmaceutical, is called TA-65. They say that it will lengthen the telomeres at the end of the chromosome that will help you keep the cells healthy. Science know what causes aging and death. It is the shortening of the telomeres at the end of the chromosomes inside of every cell of your body. Every time the cell multiply itself, replicate itself, the telomeres get a little shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter until there's nothing left. And then the end of the chromosome starts fraying and the cell can no longer replicate itself. And you get stuck with old, dead cells in your body. And you get older, you get more wrinkles, and you die. Now, there's a way that the body can create this enzyme on its own. And that's what I'm doing, because I am doing the same as the guy that died from an accident at the age of 256. Li Xingyuan. The government verified his age on 2 different occasions, possibly 3, I'm not sure. And I also found some other old people. There was a farmer in Iraq, I think. He died from he was 172 when he died. So there's quite a few old people out there, but they don't live like we do.
No.
I'm doing like Li Xingyu, and I eat herbs. There is 2 herbs that will do pretty much all of this. One of them is astragalus, and I have a book on the shelf explaining the medical research showing that if you take astragalus in the high doses, it will lengthen even your telomeres at the end of the chromosome, which will keep the cells healthy, and they will replicate yourself, so you get new cells instead of old ones. And then there's another one. It's called the immortality herb in China. It's called the Jiaogulan herb. And I take that too. Right now I ran out, so I'm not taking it here for the last week or so, but I'm going to get some more.
Where do
Because
you get it from? I mean, like, is it something everybody can order, or does somebody reputable place that?
You can find it. A lot of herb stores have it. I get it from pipingrock.com. It's a big, huge herb store on the East Coast, and because they're so big, they buy such large volumes so they can lower the price. It's the best price that I have found, and it's excellent quality. And also, last Sunday, I did an interview with a lady from Norway. She also have a product that I don't even remember. I did some research on it, and that works also. You go to Broadcast Team Alpha and go in and watch the last show, and you'll see the products that she talked about. I'm gonna test that out too. They also had hey, for you bald guys out there, this is something for you. She also have a product that'll regrow your hair, and that's something for me because I got a bald spot up here.
Well, we would never be able to tell. You've got more hair. I mean, really, realistically, the men, I guess you just kind of thought it was a part of the aging process, but yeah.
Things happen.
Things happen. They do happen. But I'd say because you literally started to reverse it, if my memory standing me correctly. Like, that's amazing.
I have a picture of myself from 10 years ago. About 10. Yeah. And I was starting to look a little ragged, had a lot of crow's feet, and I had a lot of gray hair and wrinkles and stuff. You don't see much gray hair anymore. And
that's natural?
Yeah. And also, a lot of the wrinkles has gone away, and I know I'm doing something right.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
You mean that's natural? You don't have to, nothing to. That's great.
No, this is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, Aggie, because I'm telling you that, man, if I didn't have to go to see that, once a month, I tell you, I blame it on the Irish roots is what I blame it on. But if I can somehow wrap this back up and turn back time, that would be exciting.
Yeah.
That would be great. Because it really is. I mean, it's just like I think too, that mindset, like, we buy into it, we're creating it. It's like age, and I'm seeing more. It's like I'll run into people my age and I'm like, dang, like I hope, you know, it's a little rough on some people, but it's, you know, I think a lot of it too is how I'm such a young at heart person. I don't feel like I'll ever
Yeah,
age.
yeah. You're about 29, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'm closing like crossing I'm getting closer to the 50 marker, which I don't know if I'll
Oh,
take that very well.
that's nothing.
You know, I don't know. It feels like, and I sit there and I've done that for so many years where I'm like, you know, every time like the 40s, oh my gosh, my best years had passed, or my 30s, I cried when I left the 30s, you know, and I'm like, here I am wasting time reflecting back at how great that is. I'll be doing this at 50 and at 60 too. I got
Yeah,
to stop it. I need to stop it. I
yep,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah, that's ooh, we're our own worst enemies sometimes.
Yeah, our mind controls everything because we do live in a mind-created universe. Quantum mechanics prove that. Start reading about the double slit experiment. They will realize the universe and everything in it does not even exist until it is observed or interacted with. Oh,
Mm.
that's a tough one.
That's hard to wrap your mind around. It's like if we're not interacting with it, you know, is it occurring? Is it really happening? I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah, but there is a lot of this quantum theories of the theoretical physicists are coming out saying there is nothing here. We are hallucinating our existence. Let me give you
I
an example.
oh,
Can I prove that to you?
I'd love to if you did.
Okay, I'm a hypnotist. If I put you in a soft chair and talk to you for 10 minutes, or maybe 5, depends on how easy you are to get down, I put you under deep hypnosis. I move you way down into the theta range of brainwave pattern, where you actually lose everything. You don't know anything what is going on.
Hmm.
You have no awareness of me or anything around you. And I tell you that when I snap my finger and bring you back out, you will see an elephant standing next to you. I don't care if you are on the 34th floor of an apartment building, that elephant will be there. But there's a problem. I can't see the elephant because there is no elephant there. But you can smell him. You can hear him breathing. He is right there next to you. You reach out and touch the snout on the elephant and you can feel the rough skin. What happened to your real world right now? What happened?
Hmm.
It went away, didn't it?
Yeah, I was envisioning the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
That's
That
interesting.
can, that can be done.
You know, I go easy under hypnosis and I vowed never to do it again after I was at the casino. And I literally, that's not the first time. I should have known better. But I was caught myself grabbing the microphone away from the guy and verbally assaulting somebody. I mean, it was one of those moments when I came like consciously too. I wanted to crawl and you crawl out of there. You know, it's
Yeah.
one of those moments. But it definitely can happen. I
Yeah.
was shocked. I didn't think that I'd go under just like that.
Yeah. Well, pretty much everybody can do that. It's something called rapid induction methods. And you can put somebody out under in about 3/4 of a second by doing that. That's all they take. Because if you shock them and then tell them sleep in the middle of it all, then the mind goes blank. And then you talk to them, they say, you will remember nothing. You see nothing. You are deep sleep, deep sleep, deep sleep. And the way to do that is just simple. You go up and shake somebody's hand and just pull the hand down really hard. And then that shocks them. At the same time, you say, deep sleep, sleep. And they react to it. Most of the
Wow.
time, they will react to that because the subconscious mind is wide open and the conscious mind is so concerned about what you pull their hand. This conscious mind is totally out of the way. Your word will go directly into the subconscious mind and have an effect. There's some psychology to this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Why do you think some people are I think it's alarming. I was alarmed by how quickly I was under. Compare I didn't think at first I was under and they're like, you won't be able to open your eyes. And I was like, and I couldn't open them. And I was like, all
Yeah,
right, what the hell's going on here? What is
yeah,
going on? But
yeah,
it's like looking back, it's almost like watching something play out in front of you. I know at the point when I grabbed that guy's microphone, I thought, but I was watching. It was like almost like I was watching myself do this, and I thought,
hmm
oh God, what are you doing? But it was too late. It was already done. But
yeah,
that's how it felt, I guess.
yeah. I think everybody out there should learn self-hypnosis. And if you want to learn how, go to broadcastteamalpha.com. Go and click on classes. I have a class in there on how to learn hypnosis and self-hypnosis. And it's so simple. I didn't say easy. It's simple. All you have to do is to go through it all so you have a good perspective on it. And then go practice the different steps. Find someone to practice on.
Oh, that now this is getting interesting.
Yeah. And I
There we
tell you,
go.
if you are in college or if you have kids in college, they really need to do this. You can get as close as you can to photographic memory by doing it. I also have
That's
there
that's
is a
interesting.
on the Broadcast Team Alpha YouTube in the member section. I have some videos in there, repeating videos that will teach you how to reprogram your mind for success, falling asleep fast, or photographic memory.
Well, I'm gonna have to get over there and look at this again. I thought that I had, but I'm gonna have to refresh. You got a lot of great stuff over there. You do.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for that.
I used that method when I was in flight school. When I came over from Europe, I had a language barrier too. Well, accent was one thing, but see, the American language is not English, and
No.
I learned I learned that real fast. But on the first test that I did, I just kind of barely scraped by. I had to get 70% in order to pass. And I don't know what I had. I think it was 72 or 74. So I barely scraped by. And I realized I have to use the sleep tape method that I already had perfected and used. So when there was important things that I needed to know, I talked it in on the tape recorder, the one with two reels on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked it into an endless tape that ran for 30 minutes.
Mm.
And then when I went to bed, I turned the tape recorder on and that thing ran all night. When you are sleeping, your conscious mind is not in the way anymore. The subconscious mind is wide open and hears everything. I ran it so you barely can hear it, so it doesn't keep you awake. And then it ran, many, many, many times during the night. and it goes right into long-term memory.
Yes.
So now, when I needed it later, all I had to ask myself the question, what's the answer? I read the question, I just ask, what is the answer? And I go back and I bring it back out to the normal way.
And people
You,
who don't realize the FAA exam, that everything's fair game. Like when I went in for my, I mean, everything is fair game out of them. I mean, like I couldn't believe it. And
yeah,
you're right. After a certain period of time, it becomes, you know, what we think is what we're consciously having to recall is automatic, goes into, shifts over into that automatic recall.
yeah.
That's a great idea.
And every test I did from there on was on the wall of honor, and that means over 90%. So that particular method of learning is excellent. If you're in college, learn how to do it.
That's awesome. And yeah, for people, I always thought that was when I didn't understand, you know, like you're going into a different country, they do it. Everything is the English, but like you said, it's not the American English that you're calling and reporting, but it's very
Yeah,
fascinating. I forgot, I didn't forget because you even went, you had a flight school, didn't you?
yeah,
That's yeah. People don't realize I went to aviation school under my undergraduate degree, and it is intense. That is a lot of regulations, a lot of red tape to go through, and to have a flight school. Oof. I mean,
yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Becoming a pilot is really demanding.
Yeah.
It
Do
it
you remember your
is.
first solo?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I remember my flight instructor is like, "Your airplane, let's say, you know, we taxi back." And I was like, "Where are you going?"
Uh,
And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "No, really, where are you going?" And those three
yeah,
touch and goes, I just thought, here goes nothing. I had no idea if I, but yeah, that takes a lot of courage. It does take a lot of courage. Your first
yeah,
solo cross country. Oh my gosh.
yeah. I did a lot of teaching, and I have no idea how many times I chewed my nails down to the bone when they were out there by themselves.
Oh my, I came back. I said, the porpoise effect. The first time I was doing a cross country solo, I went in and the runway was a lot more narrow and shorter than what I was used to. So I hit that ground, and you know how you go in automatically, your instinct is to pull back on the yoke. I luckily by the grace of God, I calmly pushed the yoke forward. I hit the differential braking and I came to a halt, and I was like this far off the edge of I didn't go over the edge of the runway, but if I had, the FAA, it was horrible. I remember taxiing back in. I was just sweating. I was like profusely. I was like, "Oh my God." You
Yeah,
know, I thought I'm going to walk out of this airplane. I'm leaving it. They can come pick it up. I'm done, you know, but I went and I finished it. I'm glad I did, but oof,
yeah, yeah.
a lot
There
of
is
courage.
a lot of stories.
Yeah. I think everybody's had a few, and people don't realize. I'm like, yeah, if
Yeah.
you've got your pilot's license, you've had a few close calls. There's no doubt in my mind. You've had a few close calls.
But I'm gonna let me for the next 20 seconds talk to the kids out there in college. When you come out of college, chances are very good you will never find a job. Because by the time you get out in the next year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, the robots will have taken your job. IA will have taken your job. But there is one job that will never be taken for the next probably 20, 30, 40 years, and that is a pilot. There is no way you're going to get
No.
to crawl in the back of an aluminum tube knowing there is nobody in the cockpit flying it. That is not going to happen. There is always going to be a need for pilots. And I tell you, it beats working for a living because it's a lot of fun. Whenever you go up there, you get to play in the sky, and it pays well. I had a friend that used to work for me in Minneapolis. He retired a year ago, and I think he had about $450,000 annual wages when he retired.
Wow. Yeah,
Of
that's
course, you're flying for 35 years, but still.
There's nothing better.
Yeah.
When you get up in that air and you realize, there is nothing better.
Yeah.
You feel so, untouchable, I think, at some moments.
Yeah. It is just you and the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything on the ground goes away. I don't care how many problems you have on the ground, it all goes away.
Oh, yeah,
It's,
that's so true.
it's peaceful.
It is
You sit
peaceful.
there, wrap your ears around the engines and what's going on.
Oh, Cat's tongue wants to know if you've had any near misses.
Puffs. Okay.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I said that they definitely. Um, have you had any near misses up in the air?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember an uncle was there. It's like, do you think there's anybody that's gone on? I can't even tell you. We almost had a head on. I mean, luckily Chicago Center picked us up. I was like, oh gosh,
Oh.
a few
Ah,
too close to comfort calls, to say the least.
yeah. I haven't had any near misses actually, but I had some close calls coming
Yeah.
back from coming back from Nebraska one time in a single engine airplane going back to Minneapolis. I was on top of the clouds in a Mooney, and suddenly the engine stopped.
Mm.
And you know, when you have only one engine and that one stops, you become a glider.
Yeah. Yeah. Pitch for
There's a
70 knots. And yeah. Look for a place
Yeah,
to land.
there's a place down there with your name on it, and you're gonna hit it. So I called air traffic control, told them what happened, and I said, "What is the closest airport?" They told me, gave me heading, and I heading straight for it. And I got below the clouds, and there was, I think it was Red Wing, Minnesota, and there was the airport right in front of me,
Wow.
just beyond range. I couldn't reach it. The city or the town was in between me, so I peeled off to the left and I went and found the farmer's field and I went on landing in it and I went over to the farmer and tried to tell him that I landed in your field and
Oh, he's probably
I
like, what?
need to borrow your phone and call home.
Did he think you were lying? We had that happen not too far from here where a plane went down.
Yeah. And it was okay, my partner came out and we picked me up and we looked at the airplane and then we flew some mechanics out, took the engine out, and we brought it back to the shop, and our mechanics fixed it up so that they rebuilt it. So we took it back, and it was okay.
The FAA and the NTSB, did you have? I mean, that had to have been fun.
Yeah, we filed a report on it, but the crank broke, so there was not much to write about.
Well, that's good. That's good. When
Yeah,
that happens, I remember, because it becomes so automatic. Like when you're up there, my flight instructor would be like, okay, no engine, pull the engine. What are you going to do now? And it's like,
yeah,
okay, you go through that checklist enough times. It's just, but to actually have to land it, oh gosh, I would have been a little panicky, I think maybe. Were you sweating a little bit? Like, holy crap, here we
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I wanted there's one question that T-Bone had asked, and then I will let you go for the night. I know that it's going past. Well, actually, two, if you could real quickly. The first one is, what do you think about Spielberg's Disclosure movie?
First of all, I don't think it's out yet, is it?
I haven't
I
even
I,
followed
I
it, but I
I
know
have
it's
not.
supposed to come out here shortly, I
Yeah,
think.
I haven't seen it, but I hear the rumor on the street is that it's going to be really good. It's going to help on the understanding and create a floor of understanding for disclosure. So I'm looking forward to see it. I
Yeah, it'll
guess
be interesting to see what happens.
it's going to be in the movie theaters, isn't it?
Do they still have those?
Yeah, we've got them here.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, it is supposed to. Now I've heard it was supposed to come out for a while. I don't know. If you're in the chat still, let us know because I know you kind of keep up on that.
Yeah.
And then two, what do you think of the ultra? This is the last one I have for you, the ultra terrestrial theory.
Well, I know it's real. Depends on what it says. Ultra terrestrial. We often get that confused with extraterrestrial. There is a difference. Ultra terrestrials, my understanding is that they are the interdimensionals coming here, coming from higher vibration, hopefully not from lower vibrations. But they're all here. They come and visit, and it's not going to be too many years before they'll be walking next to you down the street. And for someone who looks just like us, and you will never know the difference.
I think right now, probably, don't you think they live among us?
Yeah, they do.
I think so too. I think so also. That's very interesting. Well, Aage, I really want to say thank you so much for coming on. And it's always, every time, my mind for days will be expanding in ways I didn't dream possible. But I really appreciate that you're doing this. I mean, you really have always, anybody I've ever talked to, and I forgot that you were from the Nebraska area. They've always said that you are ahead of your time, and you really are. You really are. We have a lot to learn from you, and I really appreciate it. Again, I'll go ahead and I'm going to post your social links in chat. Broadcast Team Alpha. You got great channel on YouTube, Broadcast Team Alpha. Website, broadcastteamalpha.com. And definitely go and check out what you have some amazing stuff with the archives. You could go through for days.
Yep. And buy yourself a Christmas present.
Yes. In the book, definitely. It's so much to that book right there. I mean, you got that condensed. I mean, you hit so many topics. And if you're interested, which everybody should be at this point, the law of attraction and getting that, give us your email address one more time. So I want a part of this group. I really do. So
you
curious.
can go on broadcastteamalpha@gmail.com or my name, that's Aage Nost @gmail.com. Either one will work. I watch them both.
Okay, that's great. Definitely. And then I wanted to say before you leave today, what would you like to leave the people with until the next time?
Don't forget who you are. Start meditating and prove to yourself who you are. Because if you start meditating, you will get the message. It will come. And when that happens, your consciousness will rise to the level you have no idea of. And you start getting abilities you could not even imagine.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much again. We appreciate your time, and definitely we'll have you back. Yeah, you're always welcome over here. You know that. But
okay, I had fun.
much. Yeah, it's always a great time.
Yeah, in the words of Spock, live long and prosper.
I love it. Wow, what a great show. Every time Aagie's on, I just absolutely love it. I really want to say thanks to everybody. The conversation has been amazing in the chat. I've learned so much on all ends. It's just a lot to, just take it in, digest it. I'm going to try and meditate more because it's important. I need to just tell my scattered brain sometimes I can shut it down, and I got 20 minutes. It helps you to tune into the world and makes a lot of this, brings a lot of this together to make sense. I want to thank T-Bone for the super chat. Thank you so much, T-Bone. Moon at Noon. It's greatly appreciated. Pops, greatly appreciated. And tomorrow night we have Dano coming on. So join us at 7:30 Central Standard Time for the Disclosure Desk. And for those of you who don't know, Pops is doing a show with me on Tuesday. So I think that's absolutely wonderful. We're going to bring it. So he's been so helpful in scheduling. I'm moving right now in the process of it anyway. So kind of last week. It's been a little sporadic, but definitely getting it back on track. So for those of you wondering, an opportunity arose. I needed to kind of jump on it and get moving. And I'm moving, and I forgot how much I don't like moving, but definitely moving. Amy, thank you so much. And your support is always appreciated. And Benno, love you, Benno, and thank you. For each and every one of you, for being here, for supporting. We couldn't do what we do without you. And it really is. In the toughest of times, you're always here, and it means so much. You don't realize how much you affect and impact somebody's life, but each and every one of you do. You change that dynamic and you make it a better place. So I absolutely love each and every one of you. Again, if you have not, go check out Aggie's book and check out, he's got, I mean, that book is just jam packed full of stuff. It's definitely needed in my life. And I imagine that it would touch yours as well. So again, thank you for taking the journey into the unknown. I'm Coley, also known as ColeyUFO. We'll be back tomorrow with Gary Spikes Pops for a disclosure desk too with Dano. So I'm looking forward to it. And we got a lot of fun stuff coming up this week, and I'll update you on that soon. So without further ado, be good to one another.
Your experiences matter and deserve to be shared. Imagine sitting in the disclosure desk chair where your story takes center stage. You will have 45 minutes of one-on-one time with me diving deep into your UFO sightings, ET encounters, or any high strangeness that has left you questioning reality. This is your chance to reveal your truth unfiltered and raw. But it does not stop there. You will have the opportunity to turn the tables and ask me the tough questions that keep you up at night. What do you want to know about disclosure? What answers have eluded you? Every experience is a piece of the puzzle. Together we can shed light on the unknown. If you are ready to step into the spotlight and share your journey, drop a comment with your name, location, and a brief description of your experience. Let's make your voice heard in the quest for truth.